had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine yesterday who traditionally in the past has told me he doesn't like to wash his truck, but I did ceramic coat it for him and have done a ceramic maintenance for him, and he was like he couldn't believe it. He was so excited to tell me how easy it was to wash his car. And so I thought this would make a good YouTube video and a good podcast to talk about the real benefits of whether it's a wipe-on ceramic spray or even a ceramic spray coating, and how you could really get the most out of it. So instead of talking about which product is the best and which ceramic spray is the best, I just want to talk in general about the real benefits and why you should actually invest in either a ceramic coating or a ceramic spray. And so, I think a lot of people talk about ceramic spray coatings, that they're the latest and greatest and some of the key features of it. But sometimes they're only scratching the surface of what they can actually do for your car. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. And, it's kind of, because I do this for a living and I talk about it and my whole world is about car detailing and stuff like this, I tend to get into the weeds so often. And even day to day, I get into the weeds and I forget how awesome ceramic sprays and ceramic coatings are for just the average person, and how, not life-changing, but how fun it can make, washing your car, something as simple as washing your car. And that's exactly what happened to my buddy of mine who was telling me about how he washed his car, because I jokingly was like, oh my gosh, I saw your car the other day and it looked so dirty, but now I see it today and it's like, looks great. And he went into this whole story and just totally lit up about how easy and fun it was to wash his car because it was ceramic coated. So, obviously the main benefit to a ceramic coating is that it creates that hydrophobic protection layer. And that's where we see the water beading, sometimes water sheeting, the gloss enhancement. The paint looks deeper, richer, it's slicker. We get UV protection from the sun. And I remember the first time when I was developing Tough Shell, or what would become Tough Shell, which is a water-based ceramic spray. I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so easy to apply that anyone could apply this, and it's so much easier than wax. The first detail I ever did was for a manager at a restaurant that I was working, and I used Meguiar's paste wax, and back then I didn't clay bar the car, or iron decontaminate it, or anything like that. And so using that paste wax on top of all those contaminants was a total nightmare. Even if you didn't have all those contaminants, it's pretty much a nightmare. And it also doesn't offer as many benefits as a ceramic does, right? A ceramic spray or ceramic, whatever. And so now that the industry has gotten to a place, or technology has gotten to a place where you could literally spray and wipe on and get your whole entire car protected, glass, trim, paint, even wheels, everything protected, that makes it so much more enjoyable and so much more fun to wash your car the next time around is truly amazing. And I think sometimes we even lose sight of how amazing that is. And it's also something anyone can do, which is like even more amazing, right? So, gosh, it makes me think of like the weirdest surfaces I've put ceramic coatings on just to see. I'm a big tester, so I've put it on my leather seats. I've used it as an interior detailer. I've put it on carpets to see if it'll make it hydrophobic. Obviously, I put it on rims. I use it as a glass cleaner. Like, I put it all over the place because it just works that well. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, I polished my front windshield with the Picture Perfect polish because I wanted to do some glass polishing, and I didn't put any protection on it after I polished it. And I washed my car the following week, and I was like, oh my gosh, why I forgot that I did it because the water wasn't beating up at all. And it actually made the glass harder to clean, like harder to wipe it because it was sticky, not sticky, but there was no protection on it. It wasn't slick. It wasn't smooth. It was terrible. And I thought, oh my gosh, sometimes I got to do these things to remind myself like how good we have it with these ceramic sprays. And so, yeah, so there's really like 3 benefits that I don't see too many people talking about. And the first one, some people do talk about, but it's so much easier to wash your car. Dirt comes off the surface quicker. Even if you have like, bug guts, kind of comes into tip number 2 or benefit number 2, I guess. But the car wash routine becomes so much more enjoyable. Just like with my buddy that we were talking, he traditionally doesn't like washing his car, but he was like, man, I see the water beating up and I foam it up and brush it and the dirt just comes off and I see it running off, and it's like it becomes an experience, not a chore, which I think is a huge benefit that a lot of people don't talk about. It makes washing your car enjoyable, and anytime you can do that, it is so much better. People talk about, oh, I like to wax my car because it's so therapeutic, and sometimes washing your car can be very therapeutic too. I don't detail that many cars anymore because I'm full-time with the product brand, but when I do, and sometimes I'll pick up cars and, people still call for details and stuff, so I still will do it because it does have that therapeutic aspect for me as well, just washing a car, detailing it, taking a few hours with it, right? And so, but I don't want it to be difficult. I don't want it to be hard. I want it to be easy, right? I'm not doing minivans anymore. I'm not doing minivan mom, thrash details anymore. I'm not doing that, right? The second real benefit is like road grime, bug guts, bird poop. I just did a video over on my channel last week where in the video touted how to wash the ceramic coated car in 20 minutes, because that's the benefit. You can clean your car so much faster. And in fact, in that video, I show how you can clean a pretty destroyed car in about 20 minutes if it's ceramic coated and without touching it, which goes into benefit number 3. Us in the detailing community are absolutely insane about micromarring, scratching, and we try to stay away from anything that resembles anything that will potentially scratch a car. And so definitely reduce micromarring because of the slickness and because nothing sticks to it. So if nothing sticks to it and you can wash it in a way that you're not touching it, you can touch your car a lot less. This is actually the whole thesis that started my adventure developing the Super Soaper. Is I thought, man, we spend all this money, we spend all this time, trying to keep our cars clean without touching them, right? So it's this weird paradox of like, we as car people want our cars as clean as possible all the time, but the more we touch our car, the worse it potentially looks, or the higher risk of scratching our car. And I found myself saying that to my clients when they'd be like, well, how do I maintain this car? And I'd say, hey, the overarching theme is like, you want to touch it as little as possible. And then they're like, how do I not touch my car but wash my car? How do I do that? And that's where I started to think personally of like, well, how do I develop a soap that makes it so you don't have to touch your car? Because if we want to clean our car all the time, but the problem is in touching the car, every time we touch it, we risk scratching the car. That's a big problem, right? But having a ceramic coating or a ceramic spray really can reduce that marring because of the slickness. So even after months and months of washing, if you have the right wash technique, you realize that you don't need to, put a lot of pressure for cleaning the car and all that. So obviously when it comes to ceramic coating your car, I just got an email in today with someone who uses the Jimbo's Toughest Shell, and they want to apply the Gloss Boss. And so they asked what prep or what do they need to do before they apply the Gloss Boss or wipe on ceramic coating. This is not really about my brand or any brand in particular. It's just about the benefits of ceramic in general. And so prep is everything. So the more you can prep and the better you can prep, the better your outcome will be. It's like painting, right? If you prep better, you'll have a better result. So though you save a lot of time after the ceramic is done with stuff like washing your car and stuff like that, actually the more time you spend in the prep, the less time you will have to spend later. So I recommend washing the car, cleaning it, probably polishing it, definitely probably polishing it. Panel wipe is optional if you use the Picture Perfect polish. But honestly, even a quick polish, and this is the recommendation I gave my customer who reached out this morning who was using Toughest Shell and wants to switch it up to the Gloss Boss. Even a quick polish, like if you use my black finishing foam pad with the Picture Perfect polish and just go over the car quickly with like a polish, not paint correction, you're ensuring that ceramic, whether it's the spray or the wipe on, definitely if it's the wipe on, you're going to be wanting to polish the car. But even a quick polish with a light pad can make a huge difference just for the adhesion of the polish and making sure that surface is completely ready to have the coating adhere to it. If you are doing a ceramic spray, a polish may or may not be worth it to you. The added benefits are minimal when you're talking about sprays, but sprays are very easy to apply. So if you're noticing kind of your ceramic spray not performing as well, it shouldn't be a big deal to reapply another layer. But definitely something like the Picture Perfect polish, go over the car. I'm talking take 20, 30 minutes to polish the whole car if you're not doing a paint correction. And if you're going to a wipe-on coating, you don't need a panel prep. You can use a panel prep. I've been getting a lot of questions about that. There is no downside to using a panel prep. It's just not necessary because I was focused on those ultra soft paints that may mar when you use a panel prep. And so you don't have to, but you can. So, and then the fun part when it comes to maintaining a ceramic spray coating, it's very simple. Like I was telling the buddy of mine, he foams it on his car, uses it in a bucket with a microfiber brush, I think. But you could see I have tons of videos. In fact, I just did a video on how to wash a ceramic coated car like I talked about. I just basically use a soap. Avoid harsh degreasers. I see some people like pre-soaking with degreasers or all-purpose cleaners. It's usually not necessary, especially if you're willing to do a contact wash. The Super Soaper, when diluted down and in a foam cannon, is pH neutral, so it has incredibly good cleaning ability without stripping the coating. And you really don't want to do anything to degrade that coating. And so if you do and you have invested the time with a wipe-on coating, I recommend just always topping it up with a ceramic spray. I know there's been, and I did it, a ton of videos on durability tests for ceramic sprays, and Toughest Shell is at the top. It is super, super durable. But one thing that I had to balance was ease of use with durability. And I remember there was a couple videos that came out early in the beginning when I had Toughest Shell saying that it wasn't as durable as some other products, but those products weren't able to be applied without them streaking really bad. And so that was the balance that I found with Toughest Shell, is like extreme durability with ease of use. Because your ceramic spray in general should be incredibly easy to use. It should take you about 5 minutes to go around the whole car and coat the whole car with a ceramic spray. And that is intentional, at least for my brand, so that you could do it often because it adds slickness, it adds gloss. People like it. Use 1 or 2 ounces. So a 16-ounce bottle is going to get you a ton of applications around the car. It's very economical, right? And so avoiding, degreasers. There's no reason to pre-soak your car with a degreaser. And then top it up as often as you want. Me personally, I top up my cars all the time. Probably every car wash because it's layerable. It doesn't start rejecting itself. It bonds and it makes it look good. But, if you only want to do it every 6 months, do it every 6 months, right? So my favorite way to apply a ceramic spray. So I like to get my car brand new, ceramic coat it, or polish a used car, get it back to brand new, ceramic coat it with a wipe-on ceramic spray, and then I maintain almost every wash. I use Toughest Shell almost as a quick detail spray. So I work, panel by panel, 1 or 2 towels, 1 spray per panel is kind of my go-to. 1 spray per panel, wipe it in with the towel, switch to a second towel that's drier, buff it off, you're good to go. It should take about 5 minutes and about 1 to 2 ounces to do your whole entire car. 1 spray per panel, right? Also, what's great about Toughest Shell as a ceramic spray is you could use it in the sun. So for me, I'm looking for stuff that I could use in the sun. It doesn't streak. I could use it on glass if I want to, which is exactly what I did with my front windshield. And yeah, it just makes it super, super easy. So some products are not sun friendly. And so if you do use it in the sun, you're going to be chasing streaks, and that's really not fun. That'll take a 5-minute chore into a 30-minute chore. And I've personally done this and ended up rewashing the car. And because sometimes that's just what you have to do. You just start over, right? And so, yeah. So I think ceramic coatings and ceramic sprays are 100% worth it. Obviously, a wipe-on ceramic coating is going to take a little bit more prep, a little bit more time on the front end, but that front-loaded time is going to save you a buttload of time on the back end. They're not magic. They're really not. They're, not fairy dust sprinkled. It's not snake oil or anything like that. But they are a massive upgrade from wax, and the technology for the application has gotten to a place where whether it's your first time ceramic coating a car or your 100th time, you both could do it. And that is something that I've really opened my eyes to, is that there's a lot of people that apply the Gloss Boss for the first time. And they just talk about how easy it is to use and how smooth it was. And they were so nervous because, so many of us detailers have talked this up to be some magical application thing. But in reality, technology has gotten really good, and it's not. So in my overarching theme, and I tell this to all my customers, and this is exactly why I'll end it with this, but this is exactly why I didn't want to make it about any brand in this episode or this video, is because the best spray coating on the market, hands down, if you've been waiting for it, here we go. The best spray coating on the market is the one that you'll use consistently. And that's why you don't want it to streak. Because if something streaks, even if it's good, you won't use it consistently. And the overarching theme with car care in general is just consistent maintenance. That's how you get your car looking good all the time. That's how you reduce micromarring. That's how you reduce damage, is that you just do things consistently. So pick the best spray coating that you want and use it often. My personal favorite is my own that I've developed. Obviously, it's called Toughest Shell, and I'll link that and the soap that I use and everything in the description below. But overall, that is the real benefits, I think, of a ceramic spray coating or a wipe-on coating and how you can get the most out of yours. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.